Good morning, ma'am. So, my report for today is what are the general guidelines in writing true or false items? True or false items are used to measure learner ability to identify whether the statement or proposition is correct or true or incorrect false. They are best used when learners' ability to judge or evaluate is one of the desired learning outcomes of the course. So, yung true or false ay ginagamit ng isang teacher para ipa-exam o para ma-measure ng isang teacher yung learner's ability. Siyempre, kapag gumawa tayo ng statement, kapag gumawa yung teacher ng statement para ipa-exam, kumbaga dito, mapapaisip yung learner kung tama ba o mali yung statement. Also, dito, matitest natin kung nakinig ba talaga yung isang students kasi alam niya yung kumbaga madali niyang ma-identify kung ito ba ay tama or mali. There are different variation of the true or false items. These include the following. Number 1, TF correction or modified true or false question. In this format, the statement is presented with a keyword or phrase that is underlined, and the learner has to supply correct word or phrase. So, dito sa modified true or false question, kumbaga yung statement, may nakapresented na siya na keyword para madaling ma-identify ng learner kung ano ba yung mali dyan. For example, multiple choice test is authentic. So, yung keyword niya is authentic. So, multiple choice test is authentic. Ang tamang sagot dyan ay false. Kasi yung multiple choice, isa siyang objective assessment na kung saan yung mga respondents are asked select only correct answer from the choices. So, and then yung authentic naman is the idea of using creative learning experiences to test students' skills and knowledge in realistic situation. So, yung mga example na dyan is essay, observation, yung ganyan. So, number 2 naman, yes or no variation. In this format, the learner has to choose yes or no rather than true or false. So, instead na true or false yung isasagot ng learner, yes or no. So, for example, the following are kinds of tests. Circle yes if it's an authentic test and no if it's not. So, yung multiple choice test, hindi siya example ng authentic test. So, no ang sagot dyan. Sa debates, kasi nga sa debates, kumbaga nagpapalitan kayo dito ng mga idea. So, yes. And then, end of the term project, yes. Kasi, kumbaga, yung mga learner, kumbaga, nagkikreate sila ng creative learning experiences sa paggawa ng end of the term project. Sa true or false test naman, hindi siya example ng authentic test, kaya no ang sagot dyan. Sa number 3 naman, A and B variation. In this format, the learner has to choose A or B rather than true or false. So, katulad lang din ng yes or no, kumbaga instead na true or false, A and B yung isasagot mo. So, example, indicate which of the followings are traditional or authentic tests by circling A if it's a traditional test and B it is authentic. So, yung traditional assessment test taken with paper and pencil that are usually true or false, matching type, or multiple choice. Kumbaga dito, yung learners must use complex higher order thinking skills. Kumbaga dito, mapapaisip yung students. Samantalang sa authentic test naman, usually includes a task for students to perform a rubric by which their performance on the task will be evaluated. So, dito, yung mga example niya dyan is multiple choice test. Example niya, ang tamang sagot niya dyan is traditional. Kasi nga, sinabi ko na nga kanina, pencil and paper. Sa debates, authentic kasi nagpapalitan sila ng idea. Sa end of the term project, authentic. Sa true or false test ay traditional. Because true or false test items are prone to guessing. As a learner are asked to choose between two options. Utmost care should be exercised in writing true or false items. So, the following are the general guidelines in writing true or false items. Include statements that are completely true or completely false. Kailangan pag gumawa tayo ng exam na true or false, either completely true or completely false. For example, dyan sa faulty, the presidential system of government is adopted by the United States, Chile, Panama, and South Korea. Sa statement dyan, yung statement na yan ay kalahating tama, kalahating mali. Samantalang sa good naman na statement, the presidential system where the president is only the head of state or government is adopted by Chile. So, dyan sa statement na yan, completely true. Items number 1 is poor of quality because while the description is right, the countries given are not all correct. So, while South Korea has a presidential system of government, it also has a prime minister who govern alongside with the president. So, yun dun nga sa faulty na statement, yung mga countries ay mali. Yung kumbaga, hindi lahat tama. Sa South Korea kasi, hindi may prime minister na nag-govern sa kanilang country. Sa number 2 naman, use simple, easy to understand statement. So, dapat gumamit ng madaling salita. Kumbaga, easy to understand yung mga statement para hindi malito yung mga learner. So, for example dyan sa faulty, education is a continuous of higher adjustment for human beings who have evolved physically and mentally, which is free and conscious of God as manifested in nature around the intellectual, emotional, and humanity of man. So, dyan sa statement na yan, masyadong malalim. Kumbaga, yung learner, hindi agad paprocess kung ano ba yung pino-point out niya dyan. Dapat, dyan sa faulty, pinoint out niya na yung kung ano ba yung gusto niyang sabihin. Kumbaga niya dyan kasi, nagpaligoy-ligoy pa siya. So, malilito yung mga learners. Kumbaga, hindi agad-agad maintindihan. Samantalang sa good naman, yung good na statement, education is the process of facilitating learning of the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, belief, and habit. So, dyan sa good na yan, kumbaga, yung learner, madali niyang maiintindihan yung statement. So, dapat talaga gumamit tayo ng statement na madaling maintindihan ng learner para hindi malito. So, yung sinabi ko nga sa inyo is somewhat confusing, especially for younger learners because there are many ideas in one statement. Yung dun nga sa faulty, ang dami niyang binigay na idea na yung kumbaga na dahilan para malito yung learners. Dapat hindi ganon. Kumbaga, gumamit na lang siya ng statement na maintindihan ng learner. Madaling maintindihan ng learner. Sa number 3, refrain from using negative, especially double negative. So, dapat kapag gumawa tayo ng statement, iwasan natin na goods through the internet. So, sa double negatives na yung nothing, tapos illegal. So, dapat, kasi nga, di ba, pag tinagalog mo siya, walang masama sa pagbili ng illegal through the internet. So, makukompuse yung mga learners natin. So, dyan sa good na statement, it is legal to buy things or goods through the internet. So, dyan sa good, kumbaga malinaw or hindi makukonfuse yung mga students natin kasi nga yung double negatives are sometimes confusing and could result in wrong answer. Not because the learner does not know the answer, but because of how the test items are presented. So, yun nga, dapat nga, kapag gumawa tayo ng statement, iwasan natin na makonfuse yung mga learners. Kumbaga, huwag tayong gumamit ng double negative sa statement natin. Sa number 4 naman, avoid using absolutes such as always and never. So, iwasan natin sa statement natin yung always and never yung paggamit. Diyan sa example ng faulty, the news and information posted on the CNN website is always accurate. So, dapat, wag na natin lagyan ng always kasi nga may accurate na nga. So, dyan sa good, ito dapat talaga yung statement natin para magandang tignan at magandang basahin din. So, the news and information on the CNN website is usually accurate. So, mas magandang pakinggan kasi tama yung statement. So, absolute words such as always and never restrict possibilities and make a statement as true 100% or all the time. They are also a hint for a false answer. So, yung always and never, hindi laging legit yung statement. Kapag, minsan kasi, pag gumamit ng such an always and never, kumbaga, nandun na yung hint na mali yung statement. Sa number 5, express a single idea in each test items. So, dapat dyan, sa statement natin, consistent yung topic. Kumbaga, hindi halo-halo yung mga idea na ilalagay. So, for example dyan, sa faulty, if an object is accelerating, a net force must be acting on it. And the acceleration of one object is directly proportional to the net force applied to the object. So, kumbaga dalawang statement yung nilagay niya. So, dapat sa faulty, iwasan niya yun kasi malilito yung mga learners natin. So, dapat eto sa good, eto yung madaling maintindihan ng learner, hindi sila malilito. If an object is accelerating, a net force must be acting on it. So, dyan, pinaka-single lang yung statement. Hindi malilito yung mga learners. Madali nilang maiintindihan kung ano ba yung meaning ng accelerating. So, items number 1 consists of two conflicting ideas wherein one is not correct. So, dapat kapag gumawa tayo ng statement, hindi halo-halo yung mga idea natin na ilalagay para hindi malito yung learner. Sa number 6, avoid the use of unfamiliar words or vocabulary. So, dito, iwasan natin yung paggamit ng unfamiliar words na hindi familiar sa students or learners. So, for example dyan, esprit de corps among soldiers is important in the face of hardship and opposition in fighting the terrorists. So, dyan pa lang, unang-una pa lang, esprit de corps, hindi agad-agad maiintindihan ng learners kung ano ba yan. So, malilito talaga yung mga learners kasi hindi familiar yung words. So, dapat, sa good, ito yung statement na dapat ilalagay ilalagay na statement. Military morale is important in the face of hardships and opposition in fighting the terrorists. So, diyan hindi malilito yung mga students kasi military morale. So, kumbaga maintindihan nila, hindi yung sa esprit de corps, hindi sila familiar sa word na yon. So, students may have a difficult time understanding the statement, especially if the word esprit de corps has not been discussed in the class. Using unfamiliar words would likely lead to guessing. So, makukonfuse sila, ano ba yun, yung esprit de corps na yon. So, dito na, dapat gumamit ng, iwasan natin yung paggamit ng unfamiliar words na mahihirapan yung students na ma-identify kung ano ba yon. The last one is avoid lifting statement from the textbook and other learning materials. So, iwasan natin yung paggamit ng lifting statements. Kapag gumawa tayo ng exam or kapag gumawa yung teacher ng exam, dapat ikaw yung gagawa. Hindi yung kukuha ka sa mga libro or iaasa mo sa mga textbook o libro kasi ikaw lang din naman mahihirapan eh. Dapat kapag gumawa ka ng exam, ikaw mismo yung gagawa, hindi yung sa kukuha ka sa ibang other learning materials. So, yun lang naman ma'am po yung report ko. Thank you po.